Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Comic Studio. And did you know that I was acting like for the Markiplier intro? So, well then, happy Halloween! And today we're gonna be searching for Bendy and the Ink Machine. And which means it's actually for one more day to go before it's gonna be Halloween. And the Ink Machine. Oh, there it is. I just pretty typed for some sort of like those things as well. The ink machine isn't going to be for such as really to do so as well. But this is since is actually because of in the game as well by Joey Drew Studios like those things as well. So even for to do this as well, in the last video what I just actually tried to do this isn't actually going to be noticed as well. That since here that is only for Scott Cawthon. All credits to Five Nights at Freddy's owns to do this as well, but we add rooms characters like these. And this is where the last video that I just made from like anything as well, and where probably didn't actually know wasn't going to be appearing for just only one time as well. So we cannot absolutely finding a way for the ink machine as well, so it's not going to be working anymore as well. So we're still going to be using for the ink machine as well. So we're going to be started without further ado. So what about is actually going to be for his real fandom. So before we're going to be trying to choose as one, so let's just start it for a round of those characters from chapter 1 and 5. Bendy is made by Joey Drew Studios, as you can see here, and another one is between of those three characters. So let's jump in for round itself as well, and I cannot believe that we're gonna be ready to go as well. But I pretty something is actually going to be trying to do this as well. So we cannot able to be making a flip book as well. So even for some sort of for the front isn't going to be for import an image as well. So let's just try to turn on the spoilers on, as you can see for around here as well, starting with those characters, starting with Bendy and a monstrous Bendy as well. Another one is actually for some sort of the inky boss like those things as well. This is secretly like this guy as well. And what's this? This is the alpha version of this guy over here. So this is actually Bendy as well, I think. And this is actually for the spooky guy with the ink, as sense of the description as well. So this is the alpha version of those monsters, like those things as well. But don't worry, you gotta be at the age of 18 as you're gonna be watching this, as for some sort of crazy monsters as well. So even for like this guy as well, so even for some sort of an ink, like look what happened to this guy anyways. It was some sort of for some kind of with a mafia reference, like this guy over here and the Bookie as well. I mean, is this actually Goofy as well? This is Boris. So the real name is probably Boris, as I usually see as well. So I did see him as well in the chapter 3, and I'm probably sure it was been a while. Here we go as well. So it was seen in the chapter 3 that recording this at 3 a.m. that since that FGTeeV just tried to do something as well. So these are some kind of nun-son as well for these guys as well. So even like those, there are the butchers and like those things as well. And many characters as these guys as the butchers as well. I already saw this as well. And especially includes this guy from some sort of this as well, I think. I probably think it is. At least there must be some sort of an ink boy like this. I really think this is actually for some sort of with a cameraman like those things. And this is the alpha version of this guy as well. It sounds like for some sort of crazy monsters like those things as well, like sea creatures or something. And finally, we got Alice the Angel. Oh, there must be she is. For aren't a darling anymore that she turns into some kind of infected monstrous thing as well. So let's move on to the chapter 4, and the chapter 5 could be like this one. So we're gonna be here in the chapter 4. This is not actually like to do this as well. We got the naked ink guys as well, or the boys or some kind of female like those ink monsters as well. The bite of 87 person that we think from the parts and service. And I'm not gonna be think this is actually for some sort of a bendy robot as well. The merry-go-round as well, even for like as him as well. So it's not just like a merry-go-round as well, but what do you think it is for some sort of a crazy ride as for this thing as well? So even that you even just try to see this thing as well for some sort of crazy thing as well. I'm probably sure that wasn't going to be like merry-go-round anyway. So move on to the next character. Was actually for a Mega Boris. That's I don't really think that Alice Angel did something to Boris. It's not actually for some sort of like these things as well. And things have just turned into some kind of beast of some sort of him as well. So the older Boris was captured by Alice the Angel and being killed and turned something into something big, and it was like Hulk smash into other kinds of things and stuff, and while it was in the car to ride as well. So even though that was actually for probably him. So the unreal of those Alice the Angel like these things as well that absolutely has weapons, including like Angry Boris was actually pretty him to do so as well. And it has a armored hand that actually have like anything as well. So another one is the ink stand as well. I don't really think this is actually for the inky hand from the sewer, and the most Monster Bendy as well. Monster Bendy like this was actually for some sort of a total demon as well. I'm going to kill everything all about here. And last one could be the reels. I don't really think there must be for some sort of ink mans as well. So there must be ink monsters like those things as well. So we're done with the characters as well. And the next up we got for items as well. The first up, we got weapons such as knight, machete, and some sort of like the pipe for those things as well, like the gint as well. The rake, one things as well for the screws, like those things as well, for like kinds of tools. The injection, the shotgun, and the axe, or the fire axe, instead of the Tommy gun as well. The tools, like even that we are before, was the spoon, keys, wrench, music boombox as well for the old-fashioned music like them as well. Another key, the wheel, and for some sort of like the teeth wheel, and a music disc. And the important items, like as well as for some sort of the restrooms like there before, or the secret hideouts, the vending machine, I mean the weaponry machine as well, a box as well. I'm probably sure there must be some sort of like a baggage like itself, the lever, the mystery box, and the flowing machine, like those, the vent machines like as well. Try to open like the ideas like those things. The items like the lever as well, the torch, and a hat torch, heart, bacon soup, the last reel, and the plunger. And finally, the real ink machine was actually like those, some kind of old-fashioned ink machine, and especially like those things as well. The new ink machine was probably like this abandoned as well, or even though it was actually for some kind of an unrealization to this thing as well, for related like those stuff as well. And next one is the effects, wasn't gonna be pretty real as well. And finally, the backgrounds, starting in chapter 1, moving pictures. So what about the Alpa? Was some kind of old things as well? With some sort of like these things as well. So we're gonna be started right over here. This is where the FGTeeV that I just saw this thing for the first time as well. So even like those dreams come true, like this even for the chapter 2, is the old song recording for like those things, sound effects, and for kinds of musics that we got anything as well. So why does it actually look like light as well? Pretty good around here for something as well. So another one is Bendy in the Ink Machine, Rise and Kill, as we took it around here for itself for it to do so as well. So it was actually started to get even more darker as I never know it. And this must be the Alice Angel, like those things as well. And finally, is there some kind of elevator or something? And I don't really think so. That doesn't going to be pretty exist for something like, I guess. The chapter 4 is actually, even that you know, for some sort of a dark like those things as hell. So even more, it's going to get a little bit even darker as well. So this is actually what we think that we turn into some kind of like those. So even though that you're gonna be in for some kind of circus as well. And finally, the chapter 5, the last reel. And you know, this is actually for this one as well. And finally, this is the throne. And we're all not gonna be for some kind of stuff over here. And there must be the old town is gonna be right over here. I mean this is not going to be such as actually going to be losing myself as well. So we're gonna be replaced for some sort of one thing as well, even such as here. And then so that is all the quirks and features and about of this comic studio about Bendy and the Ink Machine. So let us put it all together with some multiple characters as Cookie Run characters and many more, and for the studio crossovers.